Hey everyone! Today the video is very special. We have this amazing guest, my husband. Thank you, baby, for being here.
You're very welcome.
Yes, I have some topics here that we're gonna talk about it today. I think I mentioned to you this before, and I want to start the conversation talking about this. I was listening to this podcast, and there are these two women. They're entrepreneurs.
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 Yeah. Entrepreneurs. It's a hard one.
Yeah.
A challenging word.
But they show a lot their face on Instagram and YouTube. They asked these women how they see themselves in the future. And they answered that they want to show their faces less on Instagram and YouTube, just to enjoy more being at home and having kids. So when I heard that, what they say, it kind of shocked me because it's something that they want, something that I already have. Of course, our realities are very different. It's always something that you always wanted, have a wife that stay home with the kids and this more slow life.
I think I realized what kind of lifestyle I wanted when I was probably like 10 or 11 years old. My grandparents moved to Montana, and so he actually worked remotely, owned his business and worked it remotely with the help of my aunt and uncle, actually. And he worked remotely from Montana, and they were able to live, in a larger home and, a more quiet life.
Stop it.
In Montana. And I think that's when I realized I kind of wanted to have the same lifestyle. It's like, if I work remote, I could live somewhere else that's a little bit less expensive and I can have more. And so I started to, eventually, I kind of realized that. And then, it's not like I decided at that point, like I want to work remotely per se, but I knew that's kind of a lifestyle I wanted. And so later on in life, I started to, pursue a degree, and I decided to go into a field that's, a increasingly important field, and I could work remote. And I also knew, I think I always liked family in my life, and I always kind of envisioned having, a wife and kids and a dog and, a larger home. I think it's just something I always desired to have as a family. And I knew that if you lived in a city, it's really hard to have, you usually live like in an apartment, everything's more expensive, so you have to live in a smaller place. Kids are stuck inside the apartment, you're stuck inside of it, and then you have traffic to get to to work and that whole rat race. And so I think I just wanted a more quiet life with a comfortable life, but not rich in the sense that I'm surrounded by family. And
I mean, it's definitely a privilege, I think.
yeah.
But it was because you make decisions before
Yeah, it wasn't like I just
happened.
happened to get in this really good position. It took a lot of effort and a lot of planning. I mean, I think I was 14 and a half, starting to go to a community college at that age, and so doing both college and high school credits at the same time. So it wasn't like to get where we're at now. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of challenge, a lot of investment, like investing into my future. I think a lot of people don't realize that when you pick a career or go to college, it's really an investment in yourself for the future. I'm not a super intelligent person. I have to work hard at it, but where some people it comes more naturally. But it's just a lot of effort.
Because how you see me on this, I'm stay at home. I'm a stay at home. How you call here? Stay home.
Housewife or homemaker.
Homemaker. Stay with the kids. How you see that? How?
Yeah, I think it's super important for the parents to be involved with their kids, especially at a young age, and being able to have both parents at home at the while they develop. I think is very good for them. It's healthy for them versus entrusting your kids with a daycare system of who knows what else they're teaching your kids. And so I think your role is the harder role in our in our house, I think, because you manage a lot more than I do with the kids, the food, the preparation, the cleaning. Of course, I help out when I can, but you have the harder job, I think, in my opinion. It's like I make the money, but you are responsible for saving that money and making that money go further and being wise with our money, because you save us money. Like if we had to put our kids into daycare and you worked another job, it's like, would that even really benefit us much financially? Because having to pay for childcare is extremely expensive here.
And of course, this is the lifestyle we choose for us.
Right.
Doesn't mean that we say that's right?
Yeah, other people make other,
Yeah.
other lifestyle choices,
Yeah,
so it's better for them.
Yeah.
But I think for us, I think we both wanted that more, just quiet, simple life.
Quite simple life. That's I like that. I think we should talk about since it's our lifestyle, right? And that's why I wanted you in this video, because I like vlogging. I like do content for YouTube, especially now for YouTube more than Instagram.
Yeah.
I think it's something that I can do slowly. And
Longer format.
yeah, it fits better on my routine. I like that. I like to show this slow life we have, waking up in the morning and have a coffee before you start to work. At the end of the day, have our time together and do some breaks in the middle of the day and have a coffee or tea. I like that. I like that we can live this.
Yeah.
But it's not because we are financially rich. Do you think we started right in the beginning?
With which our marriage or
Our marriage and a way to make decisions, a way to because for having this lifestyle we have, it's because we had difficult conversations in the beginning that led us to do it. Led us to, okay, I'm gonna stay at home. You're gonna make a income, and then but for other things too, for buying things, for going restaurants and stuff. It's always we have to plan beforehand.
Yeah, I think naturally how our marriage started, right? We were, you got here on a fiancé visa. And so you weren't even able to work when you first got here anyways.
Yeah.
And so we kind of, I think, already knew going into it that you were going to probably be at home. And so I think and that's something I wanted to. Of course, I want you to do what you want to do. And it's not saying you have to be at home or whatever. But I wanted to, when I was younger, I knew that I wanted to, make a good enough income where, if you wanted to stay home, you had the option to. And so thankfully that's how it is right now. And I think we had discussions about you doing a job, but not serious discussions. But then we had, babies rather young in our marriage too. So
first year.
Was it first year?
Yeah, first year of marriage. Got pregnant, Valentina.
Right away. I guess that was our answer, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think you necessarily wanted to work.
No, for me it was. I felt very, very happy
Yeah,
with the idea of stay at home and take care of our family and the house and the babies.
That's a full-time job.
Yeah.
It really is a full-time job. It's so hard. I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine how people do it without one person staying home. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And
right?
I know a lot of people don't have
this
opportunity that we do. And we're blessed to have it. So so I guess we might as well take advantage of it if we can, really.
We were in Brazil when we started to create business, right?
Yeah.
Because we are thinking how something for me to take care of it. A business, or it was the Bruno Paradigm.
Yeah.
So we want create something for maybe future.
Yeah, which never made any money, but it was fun.
It was fun.
It was more of a hobby, I think.
It was more a hobby.
And that's, I think, what thing nice about you is you don't have to work if you don't want to. But if you do work, you could at least do something that you enjoy doing, more of a hobby. And if you don't make money, that's fine too. It's kind of cool.
I feel that if I have this opportunity to stay at home and in a way I make time to study and learning things, because I feel that it's important to do that. And at the same time, it's important to pass this information. That's why I like to create content. Yeah,
I think our most valuable possessions are our kids, obviously. We're learning so we could give, them, pass on some of the knowledge to them. And also, if there's other people we could share our knowledge with too, it's that's a great bonus.
Yeah. I think someone once asked me on Instagram, what do your husband thinks about you making videos? What he thinks, especially because I show you guys, I show the kids. And
I liked it. I kind of like it. It's kind of funny because especially the videos you take of us during the week and you post them. It's kind of like a little time capsule or a little memory capsule of. Yeah. You could go back in 2 years from now. I'm like, oh, remember you doing this in the house? Or because we live such every day seems so ordinary and the same thing every day. When you make videos of it, it's there's something a little special that we take for granted.
Some days we take for granted.
Yeah, it's kind of forcing you to see your life in a third person view.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, oh, like who are those people? That's kind of interesting they're doing. Oh wait, that's us. Oh yeah, that's us.
Especially because sometimes I vlog, like I was vlogging, I think it was on my birthday week, and one of the days we didn't sleep at all because I think Thompson, it was Thanksgiving, I don't remember. But then I look back in the video and I'm like, oh, it was actually
good little memories.
Yeah, good memories, you know.
The ordinary, finding the happiness in the ordinary.
Yeah, I think going to the beginning of the year, it's been, I think, a very different year for us because every year since we got married, we sat together and then we plan the year. We plan what we want to do. Anyways, the projects we want, the goals and everything. But this year was different. Maybe we planned one because we felt that something bigger was gonna happen. Right.
I think we said it was like a year of decision or a year of change.
A lot of big decisions.
Something's gonna change. Yeah. For my dad.
How have you changed, Tyler?
Like a spiritual level of change.
Seeking.
I think we're both seeking truth together, trying to find out what that is, and being very trying to be objective and also researching and really like. There's a lot of preconceived notions that we both have grown up with, and so that's a very challenging and hard task because it's not like you just go to a place and like, okay, this is what you guys believe, okay, we believe this now and that's it. It's more of the painstaking task of, you know, researching, you know, seeing an argument, what's the counter argument, what's the counter argument to that counter argument, and it's a very painful and grueling process. At the same time, though, it's kind of I think it's a good process because it's like you have to enjoy the process and be willing to admit that you don't know everything and you're open to being proved wrong about certain things.
That goes back to our routine and why I stopped doing some things that I was doing. I can't say no to some things because in the beginning of the year, actually at the end of the year, 2024, I was studying more business, marketing, and stuff like that. I want to be with you, researching together and learning together. And now we're doing together.
Yeah, it's great.
Not like we didn't before, of course, since the beginning of our marriage. But we are definitely making time.
Dedicating time. Sacrificing time
to do it, and that's why it's important for me and for us to be very intentional with our time.
Or time is money, I guess you could say, but it's not all about money. It's what's the cost benefit to what you're doing. It's like if I because I've always had an interest in business as well, like doing an online business and selling certain things. It's always been a dream of mine, but the last 2 or 3 years I've kind of put that aside because it's like I don't have like the time to do that, because if I did make time to do that, then I'd have to sacrifice other things. I mean, sacrifice time with you and the kids, and now it'd be sacrificing time with me doing these studies. And is it really like, even though this was my lifelong dream of having an online store and stuff and being a business owner, I don't really necessarily think it's worth it, and I'm willing to put that dream aside for something that's better, and maybe not better in the sense that it's not better financially, obviously, because I'm not making extra money, but there's more to life than money, and I feel much better than I did before. I think it's probably the most important thing, really, and so.
Why do you think it's important? We have kids now, right?
Well, yeah, and we have a dog too. Yes, we have you too.
Yeah, he wants to make sure he's appearing in the camera and to have all attention. Valentina and Thompson are at the grandparents' house.
Exactly. I guess seek the truth and really, I guess, understand what our purpose is and what truth is. You know, I think we're both trying to find what the truth is, so we know how to be more in tune with that. And so it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, is our life purpose just to make more money and own a business? Of course, I want to be able to pass some stuff down to our kids, but I mean, like, there's more to life than that. And I think it's more about passing on, you know, doing the right thing while we're here and doing what's best and knowing the truth and trying to make as a positive of an effect as we can. But also pass it down to our kids as well, so that when they are older, maybe they will make the change that needs to be done, that we can't do or we're not doing. You know, some people are always like, oh, how can I, make a big positive, like this big impact in the world? And sometimes maybe it's not us. Maybe it's not me and you that make a big positive impact, but maybe it's because we teach our kids certain values and certain things. Maybe they're the ones that make the big impact. That's like this amazing, impact in life. Who knows, whatever it is.
I know you mentioned all this, but maybe you should clarify here. Because sometimes the way you say it, people can assume that, oh, they don't care about money.
Let me clarify that, money, you obviously need to make money to live.
Yeah.
And I hope
to pay our bills.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I want to make more money so I could be financially free, and what that means is like, I don't have to be worried about, the next, month's rent and all this stuff. I would like to get to a point where I could be financially secure enough to pursue other things that are more important to me, or things I like to do more than my job or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But I think what we decided to do now, researching, studying, learning things, in a way, we help us to deal better with our money for anything.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. Like, say, for example, if we're like, okay, we want to make more money because it's like making more money is important to us. We might go move into a city and I make more money at a company that's, I know if I moved to a bigger city, I'd be making more money, right? Versus living further away because they'll just pay more. But if we're finding that the truth is not that, it's more about us, our relationship with God, or, and, our values is more important, and it's raising a healthier life for our kids, and just spiritually, physically, mentally, and all that, that our goals will be different. So we're seeking the truth now, so we know what we want to be in the next 5 years. Because if our values, are more on our internally, right, not about making more money, although we'd still like to make more money, but not sacrificing
those priorities,
those values,
those things.
Right.
Well, since you're talking about faith, I remember once I put a question box in Instagram, and some questions I didn't answer there because they were made for you. One of them was how is being in church at home?
That's a good question. I think both, the wife and the husband can do this, try to get to the same point, and I think that it's leading by example, obviously, for the kids.
Yeah.
But it's more than just leading by example. It's kind of this continuous desire to learn more and understand more. Like a lot of people, like Christians, they want, they say you have to believe. Well, I don't want to just believe. I want to know. And I might not ever get to the point where I know because it's just so beyond me. But I want to at least strive to know, and not just believe. I believe this because I believe it. I believe this because it's not something I believe, it's I know.
Yeah.
Like
you can love something just if you know that.
You know it, yeah. And maybe we won't ever be able to know it. And I think you also need to be honest when you don't know some things. I'm definitely fine with saying, oh, I don't know exactly what this is. Because I think some people will not be honest with themselves, and they think they have to know everything. But I want to strive to know, but I would be honest that I don't. I don't know much, because it's such a there's so much depth to the topic that
But I think you can give example of a practical.
I think what I guess I do is I'm always listening to things, kind of like listening to podcasts and different videos and trying to find learning, trying to seek that truth. And I'm sure Valentina and Thompson, they're not old enough to understand what I'm doing, but I think you see what I'm doing, and I'm sure it inspires you to also, and I share thoughts with you and you share thoughts with me. So I think it's kind of that knowledge, that thirst of knowledge for for understanding and seeking the truth. Because I think the most important thing you could probably instill in your kids. Sometimes, parents think that, like, oh, you have to know this truth and, you have to believe this and this is all you can believe. Well, if you teach your kids the desire to learn and seek for themselves, they might, they'll find their own path there instead of just following a set of rules. That there's just like, okay, you have to do these rules out in these checkbox.
But they gonna do because they know it's right.
Because they also have that desire. Yeah.
We changed a little bit because Tyler was...
Because I'm white.
He's white and he can be very red. I put my papers on the side because there are so many subjects we could talk about it, and I'm so glad we can have this conversation here. I think it is important, as I say, that it's a privilege that we have a space to do it and time, and we make that. And we can share with people we're not, I guess, afraid of sharing. Because it's in a way we learn with a lot of people that do the same thing, right?
Right.
Like I'm very happy that a lot of people, wrote a lot of books with their thoughts, and a lot of people do a lot of videos on YouTube and write a lot of things because we can read, we can have access to that. And that's why we can learn and grow. So I think we're called to do that as well, to do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
If we learn something and if that can help someone in a way, why not share?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least share our desire, as you say, to learn, to always pursue and always, as we say before, have priorities.
What do we value?
What do we value? Like, ask yourself, what do you value most in your life? And make your decisions based on that.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I think for us, we value our family probably,
That's why for me it's important. For me it's important to do that, whatever we're doing, because if we can inspire one person to I don't know, to look at themselves, look inside.
Yeah. Or maybe get people to even just consider to reevaluate their values.
Yeah. Because before, for example, when we were dating, I would consider a lot of things. Like, I didn't know much, like having a family, how important it was having a family. And today I value this so much. I changed my concepts because I saw a lot of examples of family planting good seeds.
You aspire to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's why it's important. Like, nowadays it's hard to find good examples. Sometimes you're not going to really, you could find them online, it's just harder. Because I feel like the bad examples are more easy to find. But that's why it's so important to have, I guess, good examples in your life. Yeah. It's hard for people to find these days, probably.
If you like this conversation, please leave a comment below. I would love to bring you more here.
To your office?
To my office.
This is a nice office.
This is my office.
Thank you.
Thank you, babe, again for your
welcome.
time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
See you in the next video.
Goodbye.